Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Ayaz, and I welcome you all on our live session, Politics of Interfaith Dialogue in Pakistan. And I'm very much happy and very much honored to have with me Dr. Naeem Mushtaq, who's a trainer, speaker, and author who has a very good experience and background from interfaith harmony and dialogue. He's working in Pakistan. So, this session, I welcome you all from Master TV Pakistan. I'm Ayaz Morris. Once again, I would like to introduce myself, and I'm running this Master TV, web TV. Basically, it is idea to promote and educate young Christian community as well as the society to benefit them through training and development, and also through the dialogue. And today we have very pleased and very much honored to uh, introduce Dr. Dr. Naeem Mushtaq. And sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be in your show. I always enjoy being in your show due to the quality of questions you have and the quality of audience you have in your show. So thank you very much. It's an honor to be in your show.
Sir, thank you once again joining for us. And I would like to ask you that about topic. How did you choose this topic?
It's a very good question to start with. The reason people normally talk about interfaith dialogue, the term interfaith dialogue, to promote dialogue.
Yes.
But I have been into this interfaith dialogue for the last almost 16 or 17 years in Pakistan.
Yes.
And I see that nowadays the politics are growing in interfaith dialogue, in the area of interfaith dialogue. There used to be a time when people used to talk about interfaith dialogue. Now they are more interested in money or donations they are getting in the name of interfaith dialogue. So they are more into tactics and politics on how to get donations in the name of interfaith dialogue instead of working in interfaith dialogue area. So the people who are getting a lot of funds from the embassies, from the foreign churches, they are getting a lot of money, but they are not producing any literature, positive literature, or any positive activities in Pakistan that we could say that the field of interfaith in Pakistan is growing. What was the situation 15 years ago? I still see the same situation. It seems like we are standing at the same point where we were 15 years ago. The reason is this because mostly interfaith dialogue nowadays is suffering from the politics of the people who are doing politics in the name of interfaith dialogue. People who used to be against interfaith dialogue, now they are promoting interfaith dialogue just because they can see you can get a lot of good money from the embassies, from the churches, funding from the abroad, and they are getting money. They're talking about interfaith dialogue, but when they go back to their church or their mosque, they're talking the same thing. So at the grassroots level, you still see the same situation which you can see 15 years ago. And if you go to any good bookshop in Pakistan, whether it's a Muslim bookshop or a Christian bookshop, it is very difficult to find a very good book on interfaith dialogue to promote your understanding, to understand the topic itself. Majority literature is written in English, written by foreign authors who are living in USA, America, or other. But being in Pakistan, you will find it very difficult to get a book on interfaith dialogue. Normally, you could say the reason, coming back to your question, so we will discuss these things later on. But coming back to your question, why I selected this topic, the politics of interfaith dialogue, is to
because I would just want to ask, when we talk about interfaith dialogue, people don't have issue with that. But when we associate politics with that, people were very shocked. What this dialogue and interfaith dialogue and politics? What is the correlation between them? That is my point. That I want that you to please emphasize on that.
Yeah, this is what I was going to discuss. That what do I mean by the word politics and politics of interfaith dialogue? That how people use the interfaith dialogue process to play politics in the society.
Right.
to maintain division between the different groups of the society by using interfaith platforms. There was a time in the past when people used to invite scholars on interfaith platforms. Now
Right.
you will see certain politicians who even don't, who never read the Holy Quran or never saw the Holy Bible in their entire life. They
Right.
are the chief guest on interfaith dialogue platforms or meetings. So what I wanted to say that in
That's
now in
true. That's true.
Pakistan,
And so
politics.
being a Christian, and
Sorry, I want to say the politics has two meaning. Number one, politics in theology,
yeah, I'm just
and the second is the politics in the traditional politics, governmental
right,
politics.
right, right.
So you wanted to ask something?
Yeah, I just want to ask, being a Christian living in Pakistan, it is an entirely different experience, and people don't know who live outside the country, outside the Pakistan, who are watching us, different parts of the world, and they are very much interested in Pakistan, and they have very so many questions on their mind that in Pakistan it's very difficult to talk about on this topic, and especially that I know that the many churches and many dioceses they have this, you can say that groups and Christians working for interfaith harmony and interfaith dialogue. What you are doing different, and what is your experience? What makes you different as a Muslim in Pakistan talking interfaith dialogue? And as a person, as you mentioned that you have worked from last almost 20 years, and your experience is entirely different. So I would like to know for my audience and people who are watching abroad as well, what is your experience? What makes you different as a person dealing with interfaith harmony and interfaith dialogue?
Let me give you a brief historical perspective on my work. In 2005 and 6, I was working in interfaith dialogue areas, and I was invited by various Christian organizations in Islamabad,
Yes.
Lahore, Karachi. And when I was developing my thesis on interfaith dialogue from a Muslim point of view, I went to different bookshops and I told them that I'm working on interfaith dialogue from Islamic point of view, and I would like to see a book written so that I can improve my understanding on the subject.
Understand? Yes, that's true.
You won't believe that I could not find a single book written on interfaith dialogue in Urdu language in any Islamic book in Pakistan. All the books that are written from a polemic point of view. If Let me give you a last 200 years brief analysis. If you analyze the last 200 years of Indo-Pak history,
Yeah.
you will see the mostly literature developed here in this area is a reactionary literature.
Oh,
Christian
I see.
missionary in the British area, they were invited from Germany, UK. They came here. Apart from doing good social work, there were Christian missionary who were very aggressive in their preaching. Again, they were preaching Christianity by attacking Islam. So, in response to that, Muslim scholars in those time period, pre-partition area time period, they you know they came at the front, and then they started giving answers through writing, through books, through public debates to these
And what we
Christian.
call that more in our society, that was the munazara, not the dialogue.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the dialogue at the no. I'm talking about the munazara or polemic era. This is was the time period when munazaras or polemics were, the part of the routine life. People never heard the word dialogue at that time. This is the latest invention. At that time period, so the Christian missionaries were writing against Islam to promote Christianity, and Muslim scholars, they were defending Islam, and they were also, some of them were also attacking Christianity to prove that Christianity is a wrong religion, and because of these and these reasons, Islam is a true religion. So on the both sides, the
There was
literature.
no concept of love, understanding, and dialogue.
Absolutely not. The both sides, they were developing reactionary, manazarati, polemic literature, where hate, prejudice, biasness, and all those negative qualities were the part of that literature. So the same literature was copied by Muslim imams and scholars of today in Pakistan, and same literature was copied by Christian missionaries who were working on spreading Christianity in Muslim countries or in Pakistan.
Right.
So that is the continuity you still see in the various bookshops, in Islamic bookshops, and also in the Christian bookshops. Now, when I went to the different bookshops, I told them, "Can I find any good Urdu book on interfaith dialogue that I could improve my understanding?" And I went to a very famous bookshop, Idara Islamiyat Lahore in Anarkali, who is from a Deoband school of thought, and they are very famous. They have missionary books on Islamic missionary books against Christianity. So when I said interfaith dialogue, he gave me a book by Maulana Rahmatullah Kiranvi, Izharul Haq. He said this is a very good book on understanding Christianity. Then there was a special book by Maulana Taqi Usmani, What is Christianity? This is another book. So when I purchased a set of books and I brought them home, it was entirely the same, mindset, polemic mindset, that why Islam is a true religion when why Christianity is a false religion. The Bible has been changed. So if you analyze the entire last 200 years and those years' impact on Pakistan today, you will see the entire literature is focused on theology, like is the Bible God's word or not? Is the Quran the word of God or not? Is Jesus man or God? Is Trinity is a true concept, or Tawheed is a true concept? Is Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the true messenger of God or not? So this like the entire literature with focus on theology, the attitude in the books was like, we will go to heaven and you will go to hell. We are right, you are wrong. We are peacemakers, you are troublemakers. This was the attitude in their writing style. And this was the attitude based on those theological books. So the theology was focused on Akida, faith, what makes us so different. So differentiating the theology was the core of their focus. So when I decided, and I kept on thinking for 1 or 2 years. In 2007 I decided, rather than 2006 I decided that if I cannot find any book on interfaith dialogue, but I have studied the Holy Bible, being a very humble Muslim student. I have read the whole Bible word by word from Genesis to Revelation. This is a humble claim, but very true claim, because I know I have read it. Mostly people, they go through the Holy Bible to find faults, to find mistakes, to find contradictions. They will just pick their desired verse, and
Or
then they will
season
say,
books, yeah.
exactly, and
And
then
subject.
they will say, we have studied Bible by just selecting one verse. I have studied Bible word by word to understand to understand the nature of the Bible, which I will cover later on. So I started writing a book using the theological approach from from the biblical verses and concepts, and from the Quranic concept and verses. The traditional focus was what is so different between us, and my focus was what is so common between us, what makes
With
us
us.
connect with
That's
one
very
another.
very unique idea. That is the core and the spirit of dialogue.
And the reason I changed my focus from polemics to dialogue. Now we use the term polemics and dialogue. Okay? For me, polemics and dialogue are two steps. There is another third step, from polemic to dialogue, and then from dialogue to love. Dialogue itself is not a destination is the ultimate, is to be in love with God, and to be in love with your people surrounding you, whether they are Muslim, Christian, or whoever. So I started to, and the reason I'm telling you, the focus I picked from different from how to focus on commonality, I picked it from the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus said, on the day of judgment, a man will come, a man will be presented to God And the God say, I was thirsty and you did not give me water to drink. I was hungry, you did not feed me. I was sick and you did not come to see me. And the man will say, how this is possible? You are God. You don't drink water, you don't eat, and you don't get sick. And the God will say, look, there was a brother who in your neighborhood who was going through the same suffering and pain. If you have gone to him and took care of him, it is like you met me and you experienced me. So the same thing is in the hadith, Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Same is in the hadith Mishkat. Exactly the same hadith. It is said the same thing. Now, the conclusion I draw from these two sources, common sources, that if you want to experience God, if you want to experience religion, if you want to experience love, if you want to experience the presence of Jesus Christ, if you want to experience the presence of Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you must come out from mosque and church and start serving the people, share their pain, share their suffering, no matter if they are Christian or not. They are the creatures of God. I belong to a Sunni background and also I belong to a Sufi background. So being Sunni
Great.
and Sufi at the same time, Sufism has given me a mindset of a Sufi who are more focused on people, because
People,
taking
yes.
care of people will make your God happy. So with that Sufi mindset, I started to study the Holy Bible. Then I went to through the study the Holy Quran, and then I wrote the first ever book in the entire history of Urdu language and Pakistan, which is Islam, Masihiyat, Islam, or Mukalma Muhabbat. Let me show you this one. This is the book. And this is, I challenge everyone who is listening. This is the first book published in June 2007 on the interfaith dialogue philosophy, with all the definition, with all the theological perspective. No, because people have written books on interfaith dialogue from social perspective.
Social perspective, yes.
They give you good advice, but they never give you the references. They are afraid to compare theology because of lack of their knowledge. They don't know, if I pick this verse, what will be the equal verse in Islam or what will be the equal verse in Christianity. So, based on my humble understanding of the biblical text and the Quranic text, this is a theological book written from the biblical point of view and as at the same time from the Quranic point of view. And when this book was published, then I sent it to Sindh. I sent it to all the universities in Pakistan to give them the feedback. And I never got any fatwa against me or the book.
Oh, that's great. Because that is very interesting.
And
When you talk about dialogue and the harmony and peace, it is very difficult to make people understand that it is very good and very safe to work on this topic. Let me share with you my experience. Last topic, when we talk about the Bible, how to study Bible as a book of motivation, people were surprised that how can you share the topic like this. So I think this is the time, and we should thank this technology and all this the modern latest gadgets, that we are able to communicate, and that is the purpose of dialogue. So we can share our ideas, we can share our faith, so we can better understand. By understanding, we can love uh, one another, and we can build a better society.
exactly. And then
This is
when I,
very good point from you, that you have, people say that they got very criticized, or they got all these negative things, but that's very positive feedback and positive point from you.
and I also sent this book to all the churches, as many as friends I have in the churches, different
Christian
fathers,
community, yes.
Christian community. I sent them this book, and this became the bestseller book in 2007 and 8. Now it is out of print. I'm thinking of reproducing it because the publisher is a Muslim publisher. When this was out, then the second edition he refused to publish it because there was a very much pressure from the Muslim community that what kind of book this is where there is no criticism on the Bible. I told them this is book not about the criticism. This is a book about the serving mankind from a religious perspective, finding the commonality between Islam and Christianity, and inviting both communities to join hand to serve the community. And this is a thing which, like I would say, uh, in
So this
Pakistan.
is let me say that this is also very unique that the and very different idea that many people, those who are watching us from outside the Pakistan, they think that in Pakistan you cannot talk about these kind of topic, and especially that the negativity, that mostly the negativity goes out from Pakistan, and this is very, very positive point. Again, I'm highlighting that someone is writing and connecting and making sure that people come together, live as a society. That being a Pakistani, we are the society. We are open. We have, although we have challenges, but we are also have some example that can be show the world that we are living in a good peace and good harmony.
And I ask sometimes Christian community, they say we are minority, we are suffering in Pakistan because of the majority attitude. I would like to say anyone who is working on in good cause, he belongs to the minority also. For
Yeah,
me,
that's true.
by by writing on this book, I became a minority in my own community. I was a minority according to other communities, but I became a minority being a part of majority. Because when I was talking, now the thing is this, whatever I said in this book, I used Quranic references, hadith of Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So they were not able to oppose it because whatever my point of view was, that was according to Quran and hadith. And I also mentioned commentators of Holy Quran to support my point of view. On the other hand, when I was writing the biblical verses, I was afraid that I may not make any mistake. So psychologically, I became a Christian at the time of writing. If I am a Christian, the Holy Bible is my own book. How would I interpret this verse to communicate the benefits of the verse to the community? Then I started to study the Christian commentaries. So once your mind is positive and your mindset is positive, you will automatically find positivity in things that you're trying to interpret. So I read Bible as a someone who is trying to get the message of God. I was not reading Holy Bible to find out the contradiction and mistakes in it to prove the Bible is wrong. No, millions and billions of people are the follower of the Holy Bible. They are very good Christians, very good Christians. They are doing a lot of good social work. So, what was the reason they were able to change their life because of the
Like,
text of the Holy Bible? There is something in it, and I was looking for that something. And I'm glad to say that I have that something. I have found that something, and I put it in my book. Be- I kept on working. I was not looking for the publicity or the approval of the majority or maybe the minority. I was only connected to my God. I was only connected. When I was reading the Holy Bible, I felt that I'm connected to Jesus Christ through the biblical text, through the four Gospels. When I was reading the Holy Quran, the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I felt I am connected with Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the God Almighty. So I maintained my connectivity with the higher authorities, not with the community or with the majority or with the minority. Because of that I kept on working individually. Slowly my people started to recognize my work. Now this is a PhD thesis in Germany, peace building in Pakistan. This is the PhD thesis, and they have mentioned my name and my work. If I can show you
that's
this.
wonderful. That's wonderful.
Okay. So I am internationally now, my work is being recognized. Then I established a YouTube channel in 2000.
Yeah, I would like to know about your channel and what is that. Please share your experience with what's that about your YouTube channel and about your videos and all your content.
After the publication of my book, when my book went to Peshawar, even the tribal areas, my book went there. You know, I was surprised that there are so many people who agree with my point of view of spreading love through by presenting biblical text and by presenting the Quranic text. Many students from tribal areas of Pakistan and Sindh, They approached me and they said they would like to get further guidance. So I started recording videos and started to upload on YouTube so they can watch in their own areas. I established my YouTube channel to support those students free of cost. I never monetized at that time. This is in 2009. And now in 2020, I have uploaded my entire live training session on interfaith dialogue, even 3 hours, 4 hours. My live direct talks on national TVs, my talks in the church addressing to the youth, Christian youth communities, my interfaith dialogue workshops and trainings, live recordings I have uploaded on YouTube so that people can go through the entire session. Majority of the, and you will not find any interfaith dialogue activist in Pakistan who have uploaded his entire discussion on YouTube. The reason is this: this is another part of politics. When they are sitting with Christians, they talk about interfaith dialogue.
Yes.
When they go back to their communities, they start to talk again, against interfaith dialogue. So they are only talking in favor of interfaith dialogue within their Christian communities so that they can get funding and donations. With the same funding and donation, when they go back to their community, their mosque, their madrasas, they maintain their hardcore or the extremist ideology, and they spend the same money of funding in improving, or in spreading their extremist ideology. So I have uploaded everything on YouTube. And same thing, I never got any threat from any Muslims because I presented my case through the verses of Quran and Hadith. I never got any negative feedback from any Christian community or friend or pastor because I always maintain, respectful attitude towards the Bible, and it depends how you present.
Present.
If
That's
your selection of words and your presentation methodology, if that is professional and positive, no one will object it. That is why Father Bishop Samuel Azariah
yeah.
in Lahore during my seminar, the video is on my YouTube channel. He said, "I'm a ready-made Christian pastor. All I need to say yes, and I'm ready to go." So I am. This is how I am being loved by my Christian community friends, and this is how I'm being loved by my Muslim friends. So I have set an example that you don't have to be controversial. You can be loved by both communities if you keep the psychology of both communities in mind. Number one. Number two, when you present your case, you need to select your words very carefully and the tone of your delivery. Since I am from the professional side, I'm the
Yeah.
head of HR and I'm also a trainer. So I teach people how to present and how to deliver presentation, business presentation. Same technology, same methodology I have adopted in this interfaith activities. So I, merging professional methodology and to present religious content and concepts. So that is why I think it all depends. You sometimes you understand what is reality or what is the text, the meaning of the text, but the mistakes is when you speak or when you utter those words, you make mistakes. Your mistake is considered to be the text of the holy book, which creates a lot of confusion.
Confused. So, what do
So,
you understand by what, in your point of view, what is interfaith dialogue?
well, I have my own definition of interfaith dialogue. The definition I put in my book, of the interfaith dialogue, and then same is repeated here in the English book, English type. To me, interfaith dialogue is. Let me read my under definition. For me, this is the definition. Interfaith dialogue should not concentrate on differences, but on commonalities of the various theological concepts as well as social and moral values. Differences are there to maintain our identities. Our differences help us get recognized in this multi faith and multicultural world. Differences need to be respected, but the focus should be on commonalities and similarities. Therefore, according to me, interfaith dialogue should be not preaching but sharing,
Yeah,
not
that's
not converting but serving, not winning but loving,
it.
not becoming religious but becoming spiritual, not proving but understanding. Dialogue is not why, but why not? Why mean you don't have to focus on doubts, but you have to focus on possibilities. Dialogue is not confrontation, but cooperation. Dialogue is not about fame, but it's about peace. So for me, promoting universal human moral values, this is dialogue. And the basis of all these values are in the four gospels, are in the New Testament, are in the Old Testament, are in the Quran and the Bible. Unfortunately, Christian Muslim relationship in the entire past history, they are focused on differences because of the crusades, because of the wars, because of the differences. Now, entire literature produced in Muslim countries is a reaction to Christian missionary activities. And Christian missionary activities, that is a reaction of some of the extremist ideologies produced in Islamic countries. So both sides are reactionary towards one another.
Yes, here you can say that the politics,
Exactly,
the
politics.
politics is
And,
involved in the
and the
interfaith dialogue.
interfaith dialogue focusing on commonalities and positivity, this is a ijtihadi. The literature is there in Islam, in Quran, in Hadith. The material is there, but no one ever focused it to bring it out and put it in form of a book. Exactly the same positivity, same universal values, human values. These are there in four gospels. These are there in Old New Testament, but this is not available in form of a book on interfaith dialogue between Islam and Christianity. So now people are working in the West, but in Pakistan, you will see um, mostly interfaith dialogue. In mostly interfaith dialogue, majority of people are from the secular background. They have anti-religious attitude, and they are working in interfaith dialogue. They think interfaith dialogue is meant to promote social values. Social values is a part of religion, is not the totality of religion. Interfaith dialogue means is to connect both communities of faith communities, is to connect Christians with Muslims based on theology. So like if you are a Sikh and I come to see you, so I am fulfilling my God's commandment that if you see a neighbor of yours who is in need, you go and help him. So when I come to see you, I won't become Christian, I will still be a Muslim. But I'm strengthening my own faith by visiting you. If you are a Christian and you visit me when I am in pain, you are strengthening your relationship with Jesus Christ. You won't become Muslim just by visiting me. So
Yeah.
these are universal human values. When we share these values, you as a Christian become a better Christian, I as a Muslim become a better Muslim. We still maintain our differences, theological differences. Just like your father is a different man, my father is a different. We have a biological differences, right? But in spite of these biological differences, we are connected with one another on human level. As far as humanity is concerned, human being to be a human being, we are all the same. So our biological identity is is our identity. So differences are our identity. What is different from Islamic point of view makes me a Muslim, and what is different from a Christian point of view makes you a Christian. So by respecting one another's differences, we can focus on our commonality. And majority of the commonality is in the social area. How to live with one another, how to share love, how to share suffering and pain. So our life, our the success of our life hereafter, your success with your, I would say, sorry, your relationship with Jesus Christ depends upon how you treat your brothers, whether they are Muslim, Christian, Jews, Hindu, Sikh, whatever. So your behavior defines your success and your connectivity with Jesus Christ. Same like me, my behavior defines with you. My behavior with you defines my connectivity with my God. The God is the same, but I'm the follower of Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You are the follower of Jesus Christ, and someone may be the follower of Moses. So we are follower of different identities, but the top authority, the God Almighty, is the same. So he has given in every religion, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, the universal values to help us get connected. When three of us are there, Jews, Christian, and Muslim, our universal value help us to get connect with one another is to serve one another. This is what I mean. And the politics is to misuse these universal values for the sake of money, for the sake of power, for the sake of fame.
Sir, I would say that your approach, your mindset, and your style is entirely different what the people are working in this field. And I would like to ask you that you have traveled outside the Pakistan and you have worked with this with similar mindset and with a similar approach. How what was the different to working with the outside people outside the Pakistan and within Pakistan? Is it their situation is different outside Pakistan or it's the same in Pakistan?
The problem, the difference, the main difference between the I've been to USA twice, I've been to UK, Turkey to present international papers in different universities, and I have represented Islam in various platforms on interfaith dialogue issues. In Pakistan, when I analyze the religious problem, I see it's not a religious problem; it's a poverty problem.
That's true.
It's a problem of ignorance and poverty. The social structure is not balanced. Even me, being a Muslim, is suffering from the social system. So
Yeah, we also.
when a Christian is suffering from the same system, here comes the politics. He will say, "I am suffering because of a minority."
Yeah.
I would say, "Look, I am a part of majority. I am also suffering in the same manners." So the problems. This is the politics. When you connect a general problem and make it a specific, this is the politics. I usually say that we are suffering from a law and order situation in Pakistan. We are suffering from the social justice system,
Electricity as well.
electricity is
Nowadays, electricity as well.
exactly. There are a lot of problems that we are equally suffering, whether we are Christian, Muslim, Hindu. And with this frustrated mind, when you read the Holy Bible, when you read the Holy Quran, the mind is already negative and frustrated. So, with negativity and frustration, you cannot uh, perceive positive points from the holy book. So, the problem is the mind, is not the text. When you read the same text with a happy mind, with your pocket full of money, you will start looking for good things in the text. So, this is the politics. The Quran and the Bible, according to my humble observation, are being misused in Pakistan due to the poverty and ignorance, due to the education system. The churches in Pakistan, they receive a lot of funding from the foreign churches to uplift the community in Christian community in Pakistan. But I usually say this to my Christian friends in Pakistan: if you distribute all the fundings to the Christian community in Pakistan, there will not be a single Christian left who is poor. Same is the situation with the Muslim NGOs working on interfaith dialogue in Pakistan. The only person who is getting rich is the head of the NGO,
Yeah, that's it.
and the rest of the things, they are doing a lot of paperwork. Majority of the NGOs who are working on interfaith dialogue in Pakistan, they have produced a lot of annual reports, not a single book on interfaith dialogue.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is the thing. The revolution comes when you change the mindset, and the mindset will be changed when you reinterpret the biblical or the Quranic text to promote love and harmony. But no one goes there because that's the difficult part. They will only have a lot of meetings in the big five-star hotels. They will spend a lot of meetings in different villages and cities. Then they will have a photo sessions. Then they will publish those photo sessions just to justify the funding. Okay, where we have spent the funding, nothing else. But once the program is gone, the funding is gone, the reports are done, everyone is happy, procedural targets are achieved, and everyone is happy. But the society remains the same because people who are attending interfaith meeting in the five-star hotel, when they go back to their village or when they go back to their madrasas, they will not change because they are reading the same extremist ideology literature that that was never discussed in the five-star hotel. This is what I'm trying to say.
No,
In one,
here I would like to ask you from your experience, and I also have experienced and observed that through different trainings, sessions, and these interfaith harmony seminars, uh, what is the criteria, the people who are working in this field, how can we improve, and what are the guidelines that we can set that the person need to understand before working in this field for community for the betterment of community.
the best thing to do is if a Christian wants to enter into an interfaith dialogue field, I would humbly request him or her to please read the Holy Bible. Mostly people who are interfaith field, if they are from Christian background, they read the Holy Bible as a part of their Sunday ceremony. That's all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But they don't have a personal relationship with the biblical text. What I am
And,
suggesting,
and they hardly understand the Christian concept and Christian theology, and they are the person, and they are going to do this all work with the other community on interfaith dialogue.
and also apart from studying theology from the text, I would suggest to study the mindset of Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
How
That's great.
Jesus, how Jesus used to behave with other people. Then study the mindset of apostles in Acts, in the book of Acts, in the New Testament, in the Old Testament. Study the mindsets of prophets. People usually read Bible to understand theology, theology, right? I'm what I'm saying. Apart from studying theology, please study the mindset. You will see, you will learn to observe people. You will learn how to evaluate people. You will learn how to manage conflict. You will learn how to manage stress. You will learn how to manage different groups of the society. Okay, from this point of view, if someone is entering from the Muslim point of view, I would request them to study the Holy Quran first. And number one requirement from my humble experience, establish your personal relationship with your holy book, whether it's the Bible or it's the Quran. Once you are connected with your holy book, you will start getting the guidance when you cannot find in bookshops or in the church. God will speak to you directly. But you, when the God is speaking to you, He will speak to you through the text. And when you are reading the text, the best thing to do is to study how I'm supposed to behave with other people. People study the Bible to sell Bible. People study the Quran to sell Quran. I mean the theology or the concept. They want other people to convert into Christianity. They want other people to convert into uh,
Islam. No.
Islam. I would suggest to study the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran to become a better Muslim or better Christian first. Once you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ and Holy Prophet Muhammad, you will come out from this mindset of converting people or conversion. They will convert by looking at your character and actions, and they will convert when God wants them to convert. You cannot convert anyone with force or with your good presentation. So the first thing is to study your own Bible, and second thing is uh, start meeting people from other faith. You will understand their faith through their mindset also. Sometimes I remember the reason I was able to understand Holy Bible in a positive sense in my when I used to study Bible in my room, because I have good Christian friends. They used to guide me, they used to tell me through different stories, through different experiences. I realize when it comes to life, life is same for Muslim and Christians.
Christian. That's
Some,
true.
Sometimes God speaks through life, through the difficulties of life to a Christian and a Muslim. And He's speaking the same thing to a Christian and a Muslim. So if you keep life in mind, and by keeping life in mind, you study the holy text of the Bible and the Quran, you will see that they are saying a lot of things that are common in both religion. The difference, the conflict is produced by us sometimes, not by the text itself. So my advice, the only advice is, before you enter into interfaith dialogue, please, please, please go back to your religion, study your religion, and become a better person first in your own religion. Once you become a better person, better follower, better person, then you will be able to understand the realities and the truthfulness in other religion also.
So here I would also like to ask you that when the government or the organizations who are heading this forums or session like this, they are asking people to do this interfaith session and all these programs, and unfortunately they all just can say that focused on religious people who just shows in their session and photo that we have person from Christian background, is a pastor or priest, he must wear his sign to show people that, oh, he's from Christian background. Either he's a person who qualify for this interfaith dialogue or not. They have no concern with that. Similar with the people from the Muslim background, they will not see the person, what is his criteria, his education, his background. They will just for formality, they will show that he's a Mulana, he's wearing this, he has that the Islamic outlook and all this. They will have one Pandit and this one, can say that from Sikh community. How can we improve that the person, the people who are doing this interfaith dialogue, the fruit and the spirit of dialogue must remain alive, and the fruit of dialogue and that exercise, the sessions should come to grassroots level. People can feel and see that the understanding amongst the community and between the society get better, and that we can find and we can fight with this discrimination and we can fight with extremism. So how do you suggest and what do you suggest that what can be done uh, to maintain, to eliminate this whole situation? And we have some comments for you as well, and very nice uh, comments from people. So we will take the question there as well after your response to this question.
Okay, lovely. The first thing is, interfaith dialogue nowadays is a very good business. You select one Christian friends, and then you select a Maulvi with a beard, and then you have to have jubba and all those things, and the pair is
Hello,
complete. Can you hear me?
hello.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Sir, are you listening me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear
Hello,
you.
sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, let okay, let me continue. Then maybe Morris can join us later on. The thing is this: nowadays, interfaith dialogue is a very good business. You select one Christian friend, and if you are a Maulvi yourself, or otherwise, you can select one Maulvi from the Imam Masjid who may have never seen the Holy Bible in his entire life. All he needs to do is to have a appearance like a very learned alim of Islam. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. Sorry,
Okay.
there was an internet connect
No problem,
problem.
no problem. So what I was saying, that you need to have a team of two people. One is from the Christian background, the one is from the Muslim background. They need to have a parents like a mullah or imam masjid, and then maybe the that imam have never seen the Bible in his entire life, but
And
his
I have
appearance.
observed I have this practical experience that I have seen that in this kind of session that this happens, that the person, the guest and speaker who is going to
So
speak on this topic,
exactly.
they literally say that they don't have experience or to study the Bible or to met or to work with the Christian community.
So my point is this is not interfaith dialogue. This is a joke in the name of interfaith dialogue, and these kind of sessions are being conducted to justify funding, to take the pictures, to take the videos, and send it to their donor agencies to see. Look, we are having this interfaith dialogue. This interfaith dialogue is only in the session, is only in the hotel. This is an entertainment session rather than interfaith dialogue session. And Serena hotel maybe or any other five-star hotel is booked in Lahore, Islamabad or Karachi, and the mullah is given a air ticket and some amount. A man who has never traveled from Lahore to Karachi by air, it will be like a visit to Hollywood,
Dream for it.
a dream for him. So that amount is very small as compared to what is being received from the donor agency. And after compiling a report with the pictures and the news coverage and video, everything is okay. Now the interfaith dialogue is implemented. This is not the way to implement interfaith dialogue. The best thing to do is to produce literature for MPhil, PhD, and MA level students, and get it approved from the government of Pakistan and implement it in government schools. PhD student, for example, introduction to the Holy Bible in Urdu language from Muslim audience. There is not a single book written in Pakistan. The only book written for the Christian community is Hamari Kutbe Muqaddasa by Padri K. Al Nasser for the Gujrawala Theological Seminary, which is which is a translation of another English book. Okay, Introduction to the
Yes.
Holy Bible. There is not a single book available. I'm planning to write one for the Christian, for the Muslim community, or for the Urdu-speaking community, for the students of MPhil and PhD level. Even people who have completed their PhD thesis, got their doctorates, and now working as a head of department of Islamic studies in various universities, they don't know what is Bible. They are head of Islamic studies. They are working for interfaith dialogue with selected to Christian communities, and they still don't know what is Holy Bible. Sometimes they ask me, are the four Gospels in the Old Testament or the New Testament? These kind
Sir,
of questions.
let me share with you one of my very interesting experience. We were in a meeting like this session in a very five-star hotel, and one of my professors from university from Islamiyat study, he was there. So he was speaking. I know him very well. That in class, what he was his view about Christianity and about Christians, and he unfortunately don't know that I belong to a Christian community. When he was giving that session, he was saying very nice things about Christian community and all this. And it was not an interfaith dialogue. It was actually that he was praising Christians and Christian community about that. Next day, when I went to university and in class, I said, "Yes, sir, I met you yesterday. Your talk was very inspiring." He said, "Oh, these Christians, the padris and pastors, they call me. I have nothing to do with it." I said, "Sir, you were very nice and you are praising Christian." And still that moment, he don't know that I am Christian. When I told him, "Sir, I am Christian and I admire your approach," and he was very shocked that this kind of hypocrisy and this kind of mindset that is killing the spirit of dialogue. And what unfortunately the Pakistan, the beautiful land and beautiful country, we have never given the good example to the world that we can live with peace, with harmony, and with respect, and accepting each other's with differences. So this is very different approach that we are discussing. And I have some very good comments for you from Anil Gul. Dr. Naeem Mushtaq is always the best choice to discuss on interfaith. Blessing to you all. And I have very good from one comments more. Frayad Francis, God bless you all. And then one of very appreciating comment from Pastor Eric Servers. Is very renowned young pastors from Pakistan is living abroad. He let me share his point of view. So these are what we are talking about, the different the appreciation when we work with the positive mindset, and a fresh Pastor Eric Service, a fresh insights on interfaith dialogue in Pakistan context. Thank to Ayaz Morris for this innovative perspective. So we both have that appreciation, and we hope that we are what the good initiative we are doing, that it
I tell you,
actually to build and to lift the community. Our
I,
purpose is to empower people and to create that atmosphere where we can work, where we can live according to our faith, practice our faith, and also to respect one another.
I just wanted to show you a few more books. This is my personal Bible. Kitab Muqaddas.
It's
This is
great.
where
It's
what
great.
I'm studying. And if you look there, this is the Catholic Bible. This is the English Bible, King James Version. This is the 1956 Urdu Bible. So these are the Bibles. This is the New Testament, the Catholic version also. And also, I showed you this book, Islam, Masihiyat or Mukalma Mohabbat, Interfaith Dialogue. When I went to Saudi Arabia for another job assignment, I spent 1.5 years there, sitting in Masjid Nabawi. You cannot imagine. I wrote another book on interfaith dialogue, Muhammad Rasulullah or Mukalma Bainul Mazahib, interfaith dialogue. This book, this was when I wrote in there in Saudi Arabia, sitting in Masjid Nabawi, also with the same Bible in Masjid Nabawi. Can you imagine?
Oh, that's great.
Okay. When I completed the book, then I went to Makkah, and there is a Makkah library. Basically, that was the house of Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, where he was born. Now it's converted into a library. I gave them this book as a gift. This is the only Urdu book written by a non-Saudi, by a Pakistani, who is now added in the Makkah library. If you go to the Makkah library, you will see my book in there. And this is also interfaith dialogue. And I put, this is being in a picture of the Makkah library, and this is the stamp of the Makkah library, and this is there. The reason I'm saying is, if you keep yourself positive, and the purpose is to serve mankind, and sometimes I say, when some of my Muslim friends say, okay, when you read the Holy Bible, what mindset do you have? So I say, look, if you are in the lifetime of Jesus Christ, or if you are living after 200 years after Jesus Christ, Holy Prophet is not born yet. You still have to wait 300 years more for him to be born, 300 or 4 years more. Now you are living in the time of Jesus Christ, and the only resources you have to know about Jesus Christ is your Holy Bible. So when I am, as a Muslim, reading the Holy Bible, I psychologically go into that time period, and then I try to understand Jesus Christ. And you believe me, still by reading the Holy Bible, I get guidance. This is a very good book. I have theological differences are there. I believe in those theological differences. Whatever is the Muslim point of view, whatever is the Quranic point of view, I believe in that. That's why I am a Muslim.
Yeah,
But I am always looking at what is so special in this book, that millions of people have changed their lives. They were bad, now they are good. I have so many good Christian friends. When I'm in trouble, they help me a lot. So what is the energy behind their motivation? Why they are helping me, and why God is letting them help me? You understand? So the God
yeah.
mindset is different. It's not like us. He is also their creator. He is also our creator. So what I'm trying to say is this: even though, like, I read Holy Bible, I get a lot of good training material. In my other video, if you remember, uh, in the Old Testament, in Deuteronomy, I guess, the concept of team management and the team delegation is in the Old Testament, in the book of Deuteronomy. I use these concepts in my leadership and management trainings concepts. I use these verses. If you read Psalm, if you read Songs of Solomon, if you read Isaiah, if you read the letters of John, if you read the book of Acts, these are very inspirational and motivational stories. If you read the story of Joseph, if you read the story of Jonah, these are very motivational stories. You will not find theology there. You will find
You find
how they,
live living lessons. Yes.
exactly, you will find how they lived the life, how they dealt with the life, how God is using his presence secretly through life. So these are all the areas, this is the mindset you can adopt. And if you read the Holy Bible, by reading the Holy Bible, you will not become Christian. If someone is reading the Holy Quran, he will not become a Muslim. So reading will improve your understanding, reading will expand your mindset, reading will improve your quality of observation. That's why I always suggest there are many verses of the Holy Quran. If you read the background as a Bible, you will you will have a better understanding of Quranic verses. There are many Quranic realities expressed in the uh, Holy Bible that when you read the Holy Quran, you will get it is like the same message coming from the same source. So if you are able to connect both Bible and the Quran with a positive mindset, only then you will be able to connect Christian and Muslim with a positive mindset.
Positive
if
mindset.
if at the back of your mind both holy books are separated and you have not been able to connect both, you will not be able to connect both followers of the same holy book. So that is why I say, instead of using interfaith dialogue with a social or good advices, it is okay, but it's just an advice. It is not a verse
Advice.
from the Holy Bible. It is not a word from the Holy Quran. So the strength will give you the text will give you strength.
Strength. Sir, before I would like to conclude this session, and I would like to uh, please give your message for those who are working in the interfaith dialogue field, and those who want to work in interfaith dialogue, and they have very misconcept and misunderstanding about this field. So, in 2 or 3 minutes, I would like to get from your message for them.
For the Muslims, I would say that if you want to work in interfaith dialogue, you study the lives, the biographies of Sufis. They are the living example of interfaith dialogue. And from the Christian point of view, if you want to understand the concept of interfaith dialogue, then you study the various Christian personalities like Saint Francis of Assisi and many other Christian saints are there. If you cannot find any saint in history, then you have saints in the New Testament, the book of Acts, the disciples of Jesus Christ. They are all life stories for you. You can learn from them. And before you go into the interfaith dialogue field, I would suggest to have a dialogue with yourself first.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and for your very inspirational and very different mindset and approach. And once again, I would like to end this program, and to all the people who are watching this, uh, uh, Master TV and myself and Dr. Naeem Mushtaq, we are here to give a fresh, different, and very innovative perspective on the topics and dialogue and in the field of training and development. So today we are going to close our session, and hopefully we will in future we will discuss further topic like this, and we will bring some fresh perspective on this. Once again, Dr. Saab, thank you so much for
Thank you
your
so
time
much.
and thoughts. And I will ask you to please subscribe our channel and share our these videos, and give us also your feedback and topic you want us to discuss in future. So thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Allah
Thank
Hafiz.
you.